you, Ambreen.
Yes.
I was saying while we were trying to connect, I was saying I love your name, and I wanted to know what does your name mean?
Thank you so much, Akila. So my name means the fragrance of the sky.
Oh,
Wow.
mashallah.
That's
Mashallah.
gorgeous. That's gorgeous. That's
beautiful.
beautiful. Okay, so we do a little round robin sometimes just to get to know each other. And one of the questions we have is, if you could have a superpower, what would that be?
Yeah, that's a really great question. If I had a superpower, what I would do is to wake up all the women of color and make them realize how powerful they are.
Mashallah.
Because what I've seen over and over again is that we, like the women of color, they are hiding. And my superpower would be like, hey, wake up, sister. This is like, your word. You are capable of doing whatever you want to with the help of Allah. So don't stop playing small.
I love it.
Yes, I love that. Stop playing small.
I love that.
Wow.
I love
that
that.
resonates for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It does. That's amazing, actually. Just to get everyone to just open their eyes, the eyes here and the eyes here.
Yeah.
Yep. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
cool.
believe in ourselves.
So
okay, sounds good.
Basically, I'll start off, as I said,
Okay.
Susanna, and this is Akila, and we are from Wise Lily Rose. That's when we do
Yes.
podcasts and we do guided meditations. And we're with Ambreen. And of course, we're going to have the intro. Go ahead, Akila.
Okay, so our title for today is Finding the Leader Within, which is such a nice topic to talk about. Like, as Ambreen just mentioned before, people, like especially women of color, need to start seeing themselves as powerful and capable and able. So Ambreen helps empower professional women to create boundaries, let go of fear, and skyrocket their confidence using one-on-one NLP based coaching. So that's something I really want to learn about. And she's a coach that specializes in business and leadership and growth mindset. So I love that. I love that growth mindset. And yes, so let's kick off our conversation.
Definitely. So here's one of the questions we're going to ask. So what are some common barriers that block your success or block the success of your clients that you meet with?
Yeah. So the common success, like most of my clients are like high achievers. They are like coaches, they are female leaders. And one thing I find over and over again is that the imposter that shows up. Even if you are leading a team in your corporate company, you still have like, oh my God, I'm going to have a meeting with the director. What shall I do? And that doubt, self-doubt that comes in women over and over again, not because you're a woman, but you are a brown woman, a black woman. And not only like that you are a woman with like, woman of color, but also sometimes if you are wearing hijab, headscarf, it creates more like, oh my God, I have to play small. Not that they say it out loud, but it's something in their unconscious mind. How can I ask? I just need to be grateful that I got this opportunity to be here around the table. But I am like, hey sis, you are around the table because Allah chose you to be there. It's your talent, your gift, to use them. So one thing that goes over and over again is this imposter, the doubt, the fear of stepping out of their comfort zone.
That's
to
amazing.
be or connect with themselves. Because most of the time, women, they don't connect with themselves. They connect with their doubt. They connect with the insecurities. They connect with the fear. They connect with the frustration, the anxiety, and then they lost themselves.
Right.
So
That's
one
good.
of the so my my mission is to reconnect them with their inner power, so they can step up as a true leader, not only for themselves but also for the community, because we need women of color in different branches.
Definitely. We were talking about the imposter syndrome the other day. Akila and I were talking about that, and falling into that concept of, I don't think I'm really who I say I am. Yes. And it's so interesting that you're bringing that up, that, this doubt and the self-doubt is not just conscious, but it's subconscious and it's unconscious.
Yeah.
Wow. That's deep. Okay.
So like that that was a bit of a follow-up question that I wanted to ask Ambreen. Like, where does that come from? What's the root of this doubting ourselves or feeling, or this, as you said, this imposter syndrome? Where does that start?
It starts from the childhood. It starts from when you are a child and someone says to you, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, look at you, you know. Oh, girls shouldn't do this. Girls shouldn't wear that, you know, stop, you know. And somehow our unconscious mind picks that up. And when you grow up, you have those doubts within yourself without realizing that, you know. It can be a teacher who says, like some of my clients have shared this story, and something I have experienced that too, that when I was in my secondary school, high school, and I told my teacher that I wanted to take masters, and then she was like, no, don't bother yourself with that, you're going to be married off, right? Lots of women, they hear exactly something similar. Your parents are not going to allow you to do that, you know, just get prepared for getting married, you know. And I remember in college, I attended wedding in the summer, and in the art class they were like, oh, what did you experience in the summer, you know, draw something. And I draw a bride, and the teacher comes to me and she's like, did you get married? And I was only 16, 17, and I was like, wow, excuse me, you know, I have ambitions of be up there, and you're asking me to, like, you know, slow down, Ambreen. This is not your kind of your art, you know. So it starts from there. Unconsciously, we pick that up. You know, it can be our who says something. It can be the adults around us, the society around us that say something, and we pick that up. You know, as we grow.
So it's like unconscious limiting beliefs that we pick up from when we're young, from the adults in our lives or the people.
Because the thing is that when I work with my clients, most of the time it's not that the imposter is showing now as a manager. When I ask them, when is the first time you experienced that? Most of the time will be under 7 years old. It's the first time you experienced that in your life. Well, I experienced that when my friend said, oh, you can't afford to buy a Barbie, or you can't afford to go on a vacation or something, you know. And I think the beauty of women of color is, like, we are a bouquet from different colors, but our stories are similar with different colors.
Right. That's lovely. So the root is the same.
Yeah.
The stems, the blossoms are different, but the root is the same. That's so interesting. Wow. I'm writing all this stuff down.
I mean, that takes us to our next question, because you kind of get your clients when they're at this stage of still doubting and have self-sabotage, and you use NLP to help these women overcome their limited thoughts or barriers, I would say. So can you tell us a little bit more about what NLP is? Because I have no idea, and I'm really curious and interested.
Yeah, I love NLP because it literally changed my life. You know, if it's okay, I can share my personal story.
For sure.
Thank you.
We need to.
Yeah. So if someone could give me if someone was going to give someone the award of people pleasing, I would definitely be the #1 people pleaser in the world. You know, I didn't know how to say no. If I said no, I was having guilt coming up. I was lost. There were lots of self-doubt, low self-esteem, lack of confidence. And then I was just pushing myself forward, and then dwelling between fear and anxiety and doubt. And it was like, you know, literally NLP changed my life, because when I took NLP as a coach, it literally took me out of my bubble, you know. And I realized that that in one of the session, I realized that why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we human are ashraf al-makhluk, the best of his creation. NLP made me realize why God says that we are the best of creation, among his best of the creation, the women, because he has given us a powerful tool, which is our mind. But the thing is that we forget to use our inner power. We forget to use our inner resources. So that's what led me to the NLP. So NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Neuro is our senses that we use, right? Like, the way you see, you smell, you hear, you feel, whatever you hear, that all those senses, 5 senses, you use them to define your inner world. You filter the information, and then you use that information according to you. Let's just say you go to a seminar. What I will get out of the seminar will be according to my needs. What you will get out of the seminar will be totally different from me, And if someone looks at you, you might say, why is he looking at me like this, But that person might be thinking about something else and just looking at you and thinking about their own thing. But it's all, again, leads me to the linguistic, right? The language we use, the internal language, the verbal language, the non-verbal language, and the verbal language. We use our body language, we use our word. Our words are powerful, because they create the inner state. Yeah. And then there is programming. So programming is that you can reprogram your mind. You program your habits, you program your unconscious mind, and then you step out of that. And it's therefore, when I started NLP, it just led me to go deeper and deeper inside that now I am an NLP trainer. So I certify people in NLP.
Wow. Wow.
So this is something I love to do, because I feel as a female leaders, as a female coaches, entrepreneurs, we need to know these basic things about how our mind works.
Yeah,
and
that's amazing.
Breakthrough I witness daily with them.
That's amazing. I mean, and I always, and Akila knows this with me, I'll have these moments of processing. So I'm processing all this. This is amazing because it ties in exactly to what you're saying with the empowering woman. And then this tool, this vehicle is so appropriate because, as you said, if, for example, if under 7, you were told something, right? Like, you'll never be this, you'll never be a pilot, for example.
Yeah.
And then with the NLP, you get to reprogram this programming and start to push yourself forward. That's amazing. MashaAllah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I would say, I have witnessed so many breakthrough with ladies, who are holding themselves. And the funny thing is that most of my clients are doctors somehow, even though they're coaches, but they're doctors because they have their own limiting belief. And the funny thing is that the society put doctors up there,
Right.
They know the answer. Whatever they say, they know,
The white coat.
Yeah.
The white coat means expert.
They have the solution. They have the answers.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are dealing with their own imposter, with their own negative thoughts, with their own fears, doubts,
Wow.
But when they learn NLP, they are not able to help themselves. But I also see the ripple effect of the clients, because one of the doctors, she she was having this I can't spend the money because my brothers, they are not doing better than me. My father never earned that much money, so I have to limit myself, because am I gonna be arrogant or what? But when I help her to remove her money blocks, she went straight to 6-figure. And she said, Ambreen, I don't know where the money is coming from, but I'm having so many good reviews that my clients, patient who used to complain, they're actually praising me now. Because she changed her inner state. By changing that, she changed the body language, the language, the words she was using, everything changed for her.
That's incredible, Ambreen.
Yeah,
That's incredible. And something that I'm thinking is yes, doctors are very knowledgeable about the knowledge that they are experts in, but they also whole people, and a whole person has so many different aspects of who they are. And it doesn't mean that you're an expert in one field, that you're an expert in all fields. So everybody has their own limiting thoughts. So okay, I want to ask, how can you identify your blocks? Because I'm thinking there are more blocks than financial blocks. It could be like relationship blocks, or it could be like self-worth blocks.
Yeah.
How do you know when you need help or when you need to go and look for help?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. So as a NLP trainer, I don't label people that, oh, you have this, you have that, because I believe that people are resourceful. They don't need to be fixed, right? They just need to reconnect with themselves. So what I see in this coaching industry is like, oh, you need this fix, you need to do this, you need to remove that. But the blocks are only created with your thoughts. If you believe there is a block, your whole energy will go through that, towards that. Lots of coaches said, oh, I don't know how to get clients, right? So if you're just focusing on that, or I don't know why people are not reaching out to me, why this is not happening, then you're creating that block. In a relationship, for example, oh, my husband, he's not giving me attention. He's not giving me attention. And you're just focusing on that, he sends your energy. So I believe if the woman changed her energy, and if she start appreciating herself, you need the appreciation from your partner, you need the love from your partner, you need the attention from your partner.
Yeah, of course.
Those three things are actually lacking within you. How much are you appreciating yourself?
Wow.
How much are you loving yourself? How much attention are you giving to your own needs?
That's amazing.
If you like, by reconnecting yourself, if you start focusing on I need to focus on my needs. It's nothing to do with my partner. I need to love myself. When you love yourself, when you appreciate yourself, your time, who you are as a wife, as a mother, as a sister, as a woman, people will start appreciating you.
Starts from here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Starts from here.
Starts from here. Yeah.
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 Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Akila.
Okay, yes. I mean, yes, so it does start with you getting to know yourself, getting to know what's going on, maybe being like an investigative, being an investigator of yourself.
And I would say we have amazing NLP tools. It's not just just start thinking about that. You need to go through a process where most NLP coaches will work with your unconscious mind. So they will take you back to your childhood, so you can remove those beliefs about yourself, so you can start loving yourself. Because what happened on your timeline, the different events, they might also create some blocks.
Yes.
Let us say, I was bullied in the school, and it creates lots of blocks for me. When I was trying to step out, I was like, oh, people will make jokes about me if I say something, or I need to be perfect. So my thing was, everything has to be perfect. Otherwise, I'm not coming out of my comfort zone, And to become that perfect, I ended up being there for several months, for several weeks. So when I first got certified as a coach, it took me another year before I started actually coaching.
Wow.
NLP is the thing that literally put me out there, because I dealt with my blocks, I dealt with my unconscious mind. And it's also about what will, in every situation, just think, what will your higher self tell you?
Yes.
What will your higher self tell you? You are the best of God's creation. What will God tell you in this situation? What is He trying to teach you? What are the lessons? And the whole thing starts shifting.
Yeah. Wow.
Ambreen, what does a typical NLP session look like?
So the thing is that a typical session, in the beginning, you never do I'm going to do timeline on you, I'm going to do this exercise on you. You just connect with the person, and you see the person whole. And I don't know about the other coaches, but I never guarantee my client result. I just say to them, the result, it's in your hand. You are responsible. The healing is from God. It's not from me. But I am here to facilitate your change. The more you put work into it, you will see the result. But if you're just going to hold yourself back, nothing is going to happen. But in some cases where people have been raped, and as a coach, like, you see the pattern, but I can't say, oh, this is wrong. Have you experienced this? I allow the client to come up with the right moment where they feel safe to share that with me.
Right.
So they're like, not only just the rape cases or incest cases, but in every other like kind of situation. As a coach, if you have experience, you will know the pattern, this is happening, but you can't just mind read your client. Oh, I know this is happening with you. You just that safe space so the client feels safe, because it's not about you.
No.
God chose you to facilitate. God chose you to help. If that's your passion, then focus on that. And help your client with that. But the clients need to connect with you, build the trust, rapport, and then feel safe to share whatever they are going through. So an NLP session can be everything.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
That's what say going down the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
Or falling into the rabbit hole and just trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, so that's I mean, what I got from you was NLP's Neuro-Linguistic Programming to program to or to deprogram limiting beliefs or places where people feel stuck. So the title of our podcast is Finding the Leader Within. And one of the questions we were kind of thinking about is, does everyone have the capacity to be a leader? Can everyone lead?
Yes, everyone can lead. Every single woman on this planet and man, they can be a leader. And they are a leader. You are leading your life. You are the pilot of your life. When we think about leader, we think about the corporate, we think about the management, we think about the team you're leading. But you are a leader without those, titles, because you are responsible for your own life. And let's just say you're just sitting on the bus and you're the driver and you don't know what the route of your life is, where you're going, you don't know where you are heading, then you're just going with the flow. Lots of time people just go with the flow. They don't know where they're heading.
Right.
So I believe everyone is a leader. God created us with those abilities. Everyone have the talent. And sometimes even people feel that they don't have the talent. They can build that talent up.
Right.
You are into fitness, that you can, build your muscles up. You just need to practice.
Exactly.
So we can do exactly the same with the leadership skills as well.
That's
and
amazing.
what I say to women is like, oh, I don't know if I can be the leader, if they say something like that. And if they have kids, I'm like, is your 5 years old leading you, or you leading him or her? Or I'm leading. Then you are a leader, Women, I would say, they are the scholars of the generations. We have the responsibility to give the right values to our boys and girls. We have the responsibilities.
That's true.
Most of the time, they spend the time with the mothers. So we are the leaders, right? And even if you are not married or you don't have kids, you still are a leader. It's not that you just become a leader when you have kids. You still are a leader by leading your own life. You are the example. Where are you going? How are you showing up as a leader in your life? How are you showing up as a leader in your company, in your work, in your relationships?
Right. It's the first thing that's come in my mind is that Akila and I are doing a lot of head nodding. We're just like this. Like we just
agree.
We're deep into this. This is amazing. It's interesting because I when that question came up, I was like, and we actually talked about it too, Akila and I, like some people are leaders and some people are followers, but I like the way you said that you're the leader, you're the vice regent, you're the leader of your life. So the analogy about the bus driver and just like, okay, autopilot, the bus is just going to go and I'm just sitting there. It's not like that. You have to have a plan. You have to be going somewhere. You have to be doing something. So that's in a sense, as you said, leadership in essence. So that's, yeah, I like that analogy. And I'm telling you, my paper is full of stuff. I'm writing like crazy. It's amazing. All right. Last question. And we can, as I said, we can have some time to talk a little more after that. What are some ways to find the leader within? Like some of the quick things that if we're like, people are listening to the podcast now and they're like, okay, so we're going to leave here and think about things I can implement right now to start finding that leader that's inside of me.
So the first thing is to, connect with your passion, with your mission. What is your mission? What is the meaning of your life? Even if you are leading a team or a company, what are the mission of that company? What is the mission of leading that team? I just had a conversation with one of my clients yesterday, and she's leading a team, and she was like, oh, I don't know, I'm having self-doubt coming up. And I was like, okay, you are the coach, you are the leader, how are you leading them? And then she was like, yeah, I need to lead them. And I was like, yeah, because the thing is, when you allow self-doubt coming into your life, even if it's in a work situation or your personal life, you will degrade yourself. You will undervalue yourself. A true leader knows their values. What are your values? Lots of women, they don't even know what they stand for. They just go with the flow. And when you ask about their values, they don't have a clue. And so what are your values? What is your mission in this life? What are the gifts you have that you can use, in your life? What do you want to create? And also, one exercise I often do with some of my clients is that just imagine you are on the deathbed, right? What is it that you are proud of when you leave this world? What have you created? And then lots of things can come up when you do this exercise. What are people saying about you?
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep, because I mean, when you think about it, I'm thinking about it and thinking, what impact have I had? Because we have a purpose, right? You're here for a reason. And I mean, we know if we talk about it, your reason, of course, we talk about the spiritual reason and worship, but we're talking about now from humanity. Why am I here? Just to eat and sleep and go to bed and wake up and start the day again. There has to be more than that, right?
And the unfortunately, lots of people, they do exactly the same. They eat, sleep, go to work, come back, just like zombies. They don't know, or they binge watch something on Netflix, and that's it. And then there is a void inside them. Yes. They don't know why they have the money, they have everything. They don't know why they feel the void, don't know why they feel depressed. They don't know, and the research has shown that lots of millionaires, they are unhappy. When they start building their businesses, they have this goal, I need to be a 6-figure owner or 7-figure or 8-figure, whatever figure they want to become. And what happened after that? And I see that again in the coaching industry, that coaches, they start with this mission. I am on a mission to help women or help men achieve X, Y, and Z. And after a couple of months, the mission turns into sale. I need people. The mission turns into marketing and sales. Okay, they are just focused on marketing. They just focus on the sales. I need to get people in. Where is the mission? The first mission is that you really want to help someone. You want to serve humanity. And then people go away from that mission and they get lots of frustration coming up. I'm not hitting this figure. Lots of frustration coming up, So again, slow down and breathe and ask your whys. What are my whys in this life? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And write down your 20 whys. And with each why, write down again 5 whys. Let's just say my mission is to help people. What's your why for that? I want to help people. What's the why behind that? It gives me happiness. It's like when I'm serving people. Okay, happiness. What's your why for happiness? Or it will bring tranquility, peace in my life. Help humanity, serve people. What's the why of serving people? It's rewarding. So you just kind of dig deeper into that. And the more you dig deeper, the more you will create the awareness about where you're heading. and what kind of leader you are. Because leadership is not just about leading a team, it's also about being grounded. Who you are,
being grounded,
and also that you are human, and thoughts and their feelings, the negative feelings, they will show up, but what most of people do is that they run away from them, those feelings, or they put a block on that, like, just, I'm not talking to you now, so they will just end up dwelling in that. But what if you don't dwell? What if you just, as a leader, embrace those emotions and you thank them? Yes, I'm feeling the pain. Thank you for showing up. I know you are here to protect me, but I am capable of protecting myself. And I honor you. I value you. And thank you.
I love that.
That resounds with you, Akila. I was going to say that's very much an Akilaism. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like what I'm hearing you say is like doing the inner work is so important, because it kind of mirrors what's happening outside.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people focus on the external world, and we neglect our inner world, which is so rich. There's so many answers inside, and we need to try to go in, ask more questions, dig deeper, find your values. And this one, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about, because I just did this recently, and with the help of like someone very important in my life, and I had never done an exercise like that before. And I think, Suze, you and I did it together, and we realized our values are very similar, and that's why we can do this together.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of people, like, they don't really know how to find their values. So this is something that I think should be more available, helping people find out who they are. And that's why I think your work is so important, because you can guide people, as you said, to their inner world. And and
get grounded
values.
too. Yes. I like it. And I again, this always happens to Akila and I, because we open the door and then we want to spend hours in conversation, because there's so much. We are literally, as I said, and I love to say this a lot too, the tip of the iceberg, but honestly, there's so much to it. Thank you so much. I have to say thank you so much for spending us, a little time with us and giving us just a taste of what you do. But that taste in itself has been a quench of thirst and a satisfaction of hunger to a certain extent. Does that make sense? I'm being very literal about things.
Thank you so much for having me. So honored to be here with you guys, honestly.
No, it's lovely. It's lovely. At least, and as I said, these are things that we are figuring out when we go through these podcasts, that there's going to be, like, I feel in the near future, we all look at part 2s, because we have it for a period of time, like 30 minutes or whatever. We have a conversation, but there's so much out there for us to talk about and to delve into. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Ambreen. Jazakallah khair. Shukran. Thank you so much for spending time. Just stay with us for a minute. For everyone else, we will see you in a bit. Ma salam. Take care. Thank you.